I know that's what I was just gonna say. Is coming back from and we're rolling into the recording here. Coming back from a little
Yeah.
2 week break with 4th of July holiday and everything. It was tough to get schedules to align there, but we're back in business here.
Yeah, man. Summertime is busy for non-work related type stuff. I mean, everybody's traveling or getting things going. I've definitely seen it with some some client communication slow down a little bit, as people have pockets of like their time on vacation. But, some e-commerce clients, June was definitely a tough month just because you're stacked up with May. You have, Memorial Day, and then you got 4th of July. It's like, well, who's buying in May or in June? So that's been an interesting one. But yeah, no, it's good to be back.
I
Got
was
plenty of
I was
stuff
literally
to
just
chat
kind of
about.
thinking the same thing there. It's like e-commerce side, it's really tough because you obviously have like all the Prime sales coming up in July, and I'm sure a bunch of people are kind of like just waiting for that. So like the month of June was definitely not the greatest, and plus like people are traveling and doing stuff. It is interesting. I don't know if you saw anything about like initial performance from Amazon and Prime Day, but
I heard
first day
some
sales. I'm
rumors
just looking
around
at
it.
this now. Forbes reported first day sale on Prime Day were down 41% year over year, and that might be because they extended the
Right, that's
length.
the excuse I heard. But I'm
So
like, well, what's the net?
there's no benefit to wait. You know what I mean? If you're going to buy on day one versus day two or three, that's not like the deals are getting better. So like, I don't
Yeah.
really get that whole explanation. I just think we've talked about it a bunch on here of the macro trends in the economy here and all like credit card debt, buy now pay later options, that type of deal. I would assume people just don't have a ton of disposable income right now, and that reflected.
Yeah, and then the problem is I think a lot of people use it for like political motivation to like, oh, the temperature of people buying or not buying. And it's like, well, hold on a second. Like I
Yeah, yeah,
feel like
yeah.
it's a bit separate, It's like it leads directly into that. But I would like to know if people are buying less. But then I guess at the same time I saw something on my newsletter um, this morning about like Delta Airlines is like, oh, we're actually doing pretty good. People are
Yeah, I
kind of
saw that too.
they're like, yeah, tariffs, whatever. I'm kind of don't really care about it. They're planning for vacations a little bit later. So I don't know. Does it even matter? Like trying to really track down those micro trends and that. It's just I don't know.
Nah.
Gets so exhausting sometimes because it's like you want to know what's going to happen before it happens because of what you're going to make some big market change move and figure out how to do something. I mean, it's good to be tuned in on it, but I think sometimes it just can be overwhelming trying to
Oh, for
take it
sure.
all too seriously. I guess is my point. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's God. I heard something that was really good. It was the truth lies between like if it's going to be it's not as good as it seems, but it's not as bad as it seems. It's somewhere in the middle with most things. I was like, all right. Anywho, so where do we want to drive this combo? I have some thoughts on some AI related stuff. I've been playing around with AI operator. We could talk about that.
Yep.
You want to segue into that one? I'm in.
I want to just real quick before we get into that because I would like to see what we're working on there because you mentioned that the other day. Just
Mhm.
one thing that I did want to note was the that little search engine land that I shared that screenshot of,
Oh
um,
yeah.
which is pretty gnarly.
Pull it up. I gotta turn my AC on. Give me a second here.
Let me just at least do
Cameras.
like a little screen share of this, just so I give credit as Steve gets his AC rolling here. Let me see if I could just actually just do like a little screen share of this photo.
This was the keyword data, right?
Yeah.
Where did it go?
So let me just screen share so I could just like give some creds here. So this was a Search Engine Land article that somebody actually shared with me. So just to read this, let me show this guy. So this is Search Engine Land article, July 10th, 2025. So pretty recent here. And the
That was yesterday.
um, yeah, so this was yesterday from one of their paid media editors on their team. So if you run search campaigns and you're doing Google ads and Bing ads, obviously you're bidding on keywords in your search campaigns. You also can then see search terms, which is what the user actually searches. Um, which is really helpful because obviously you're bidding on keywords. Search terms have some variations from your keywords. So by looking at those search terms, you can get an understanding of any new trends that are popping up. But really, like the most important thing is negative keywords. That's a really good way to save ad spend dollars because sometimes Google does match to keywords that are a little bit irrelevant that might seem relevant to them, but maybe there's some nuance that keyword match types aren't picking up on. So a good way just to save money is adding negative keywords over time. Say, hey, Google, when somebody uses this term or this keyword or whatever, we don't want ads to appear. Well, you don't see all of the search terms that pull through or that your ads trigger. I think we've talked about that before, Steve, about like there's 20 to 30% that just does not pull through. Here, obviously, it's stating
Yeah.
that Google Ads hidden search terms, those that it didn't show to advertisers, could be wasting up to 85% of ad spend, leading to higher costs and weaker performance, according to a new study. Now, candidly, I didn't dig into the actual study. I'd be curious how they actually pull that data. But first off, insane number to think about that 85% of your spend could be on search terms that you just don't see. And how much money Google is potentially making from just absolutely nonsense, irrelevant search queries where they're getting ads to be clicked and they then get, those ad dollars. So I thought this was at least worthy to share. I know we've kind of hinted at it and spoke about this a little bit on the show before.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting that, I don't know, maybe it's the math is not mathing on it, but like they say 85% of ad spend could be wasted in there, right? It's
Yeah,
not okay, so it's not 80% of ad spend or of wasted spend.
that's like the
You
nuance
know?
there. I think the way in which I'm reading it is like if you were to look at all of your search terms that pull through, like of the waste in there, 85% of that was hidden from you. Does that
So
make sense?
so you'd be able to identify a certain percentage. You'd be able to identify waste and then so what I guess so 15% of it is identifiable waste that you can eliminate manually by like saying it's a negative keyword.
Exactly.
But then
Yep.
there's like this hidden bucket. But we don't know what that overall percentage of waste is, and we don't know the
Exactly.
overall percentage of how much is actually being hidden in
Yes.
general of even positive keywords too, right? You're
Yes.
like, fuck, I don't know. So I definitely feel like they do hide a lot of data, which I don't know, man. Like, there's not much we can do about it, but I don't like it, right? Like, why can't I have the data, right? And they say it's privacy, and we've talked about this before. Um, I guess my question to Google would be of okay, of the search terms that come through, you have AI tools now that could auto detect if it's private or not, right? So give me the percentage of people searching in Google that use some sort of privacy or self-identifying information. Just in general, what is that? Of the billions of searches done, whatever the hell the stat is, what percentages of those searches actually contain something that would be considered privacy? They
Yep.
haven't told us that. Why not? Because bullshit.
I have so many thoughts here. I'm like right there with you on that. And also too, like to your point on AI, like I would assume pre-AI days, just thinking about like sifting through all the search terms, insane amount of data alone, just like the vast numbers. We're now like we have AI and AI agents that could easily help. Um, like there's no real incentive here for Google to clean this up, though, if you think about it.
Oh no, they're making plenty of money.
And that's, I don't know, so many thoughts there, but it is pretty crazy to think about that you could be like, you know, some, built this huge business and everything, but then when you actually think about it, it's like you're making so much money off of people clicking on ads when they shouldn't be.
Yeah. How many times have you had experiences with campaigns where you're like, how the hell did we get this lead that we thought they were this company? Like you just
Oh,
get
for
weird
sure.
traffic. You're like,
Plenty of
why?
times.
Why is that? It's like people aren't searching the right way. Like, oh well, the user should stop and read the ad before they click. I don't know, man. Like I've seen, yeah, it's frustrating. So you just gotta be super careful when you're setting up your campaigns. But then they're telling like, hey, we had the conversation. I think last time we talked like, hey, broad match is the way to go. So you can get into the AI ads. So you can get really leverage in the software. But that's where it comes down to like a really good negative keyword report. But if they're not telling you all your keywords that are search terms that are coming in, how can you really develop a very solid negative keyword list? Like there's just waste that's inherently there, you know? Like they do not trust us to do a really good job on the negative keyword research because even like the negative keyword placements that you're putting in there, you can't tag ones that have been considered private as negative.
I know.
It's like, well, the hell.
So
Or
that's where
even the
you
opposite, like
really,
positive keywords. You don't know.
you just have to get like so creative um, with the negative keyword selection, looking at like organic data, looking at like blog content, looking at, I don't know, staying up with like trending terms. Like there's just
Yeah.
the good example of this. Previous agency I worked at years ago, um, we had a banking client and 21 Savage released the song Bank Account that went like really viral, like one of his biggest songs ever. And we had like a broad match keyword in the account that spent like $30,000. And it was literally
But
people
people are
searching
clicking on
for,
it.
yeah. It's like, how does that even happen? But it just got such like search volume that it just like ate this client's budget. And it actually like turned into like a huge issue with the client. Um, but that's like another example where like
Guys
you
like, who
kind of
the
almost have
fuck's
to stay
21
up to date,
Savage?
almost trending. How crazy
Yeah.
is that?
I mean, you could go back to claim like, well, hey, we had good, really qualifying ad copy. I don't know why people are clicking on it when they're looking for a fucking song rather than open up a bank account. Like, I don't know.
It's insane. But my point there being like, you kind of almost have to keep up with like trending terms and stuff like that to be like, how could this, you know what I mean? Like potentially impact us. It's like almost impossible to do, but you really need to
Yeah.
get creative with your negative keyword management there because there's just really no other option. Like you just really
Yeah,
need to.
that's why I'm looking forward to maybe having some other platforms launch some ad networks. I'm over Google.
Yeah.
They're going to lose market share. They are. Like, I'm very confident um, that they
The
will.
thing that's still frustrating though, Steve, that like they do all this stuff that like is really really bad, that's a really poor experience for people who spend so much money with them, like their Google reps, and that whole experience with support is such a nightmare. The search terms is such a nightmare, some of the stuff that broad matched up, like all of these things, and it's like people still invest in the platform. Like at a certain point, people get to a breaking point where like, you know what, I'm just going to pull ad dollars away from your platform. Like it's just, I can't support that anymore. But then also on the flip side is like Google search still does drive extremely valuable bottom of funnel
Oh, no.
um, leads for
Did my internet just
businesses,
drop out on us?
e-commerce, etc. Like it still does a
We'll
really
have
good
to edit
job of
this
that.
out.
So it's like on one
What the
hand,
hell
they
happened?
do a lot of egregious things that are like, hey, we shouldn't be supporting this anymore. But then on the other hand, it's like platform still works. It, you know, like it still does drive good performance. So like, I don't know. That's the thing that like I just it's tough to like wrap your head around where um, you know, they're not like a better option in town just yet here. There's just really not.
Yeah, sorry, I dropped out a little bit there in the first part, but I get you're part of Google of they provide such crappy support and experience, but they make so much money. That's kind of the gist, right? And there's not a good alternative.
That, but then it's also like it still works and it still does a really
You're
good
right. No,
job.
it still
You know
does.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
No, for sure, for sure. It is frustrating. But yeah, dude, the Google Rep situation, that's just horrible. But they're just making money hand over fist, and they got a lot of money because, dude, I went to the movies with my family. We went to go see the new Jurassic Park, um, and there was a Google ad that played before the movie, and um, the whole concept was showing someone's journey of like, hey, Dan used to grew up with Google, and he would do searches to find his problems. And he's, going through all these different life experiences and Googling something, searching for something. And then now he's older. And now with Google AI mode, he can just ask Google about a certain scenario. So it's like they're trying to show the mentality of like, no more searching, go to asking Google. And I'm like, whoa. I mean, they put that ad out and it's probably all over the place. People are looking at it. So they're trying to grab that market share of LLM searches. And I mean, they're definitely going to try really, really, really hard. They have a huge brand. People know the Google experience. So they might stick around, but definitely ChatGPT is going to, and the other guys are going to make a huge dent. And hopefully they offer ad platforms out and we can start putting ads out.
Yeah, I saw they hinted at a potential browser that would compete with Chrome, and I would assume you have a browser, you're probably going to try and monetize it with ads in some way. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did something. Obviously, like Perplexity's hinted at they have like a little
Perplexity has
beta.
it. Yeah, they have whatever Comet or something I saw.
Yep.
But the browser side is interesting. Like, why would ChatGPT? I don't think they're going to monetize it out of. I think they're going to use it for data collection.
Oh, for sure. But I'm saying
Just
like if they have a browser and then people start searching with, because I would assume kind of similar to Chrome, like when you go to search, it just defaults to like a Google search experience. I would assume it defaults to like a ChatGPT search
ChatGPT search.
experience,
Yeah, I
and
get what you're saying.
eventually they would have some ads in that
Yeah, the
inventory
searcher for the inventory. Yeah, that makes sense. And
at
then would
some
have
point.
a
Yeah.
then they would have a very trackable fingerprint for conversion tracking too, outside just pixels because it's in browsers. I guess it's the same kind of thing, but there's a lot of power that you can feed back to a browser. That's what Google's been doing with the whole like Google Leak thing that we talked about.
Yep.
I don't know, a bunch of podcasts ago, where they're using behavior from browser to dictate how it feeds in information to even search results, which
Yep.
is crazy. Um,
Do you
but
also think
there
there's
is
a
that.
world where they don't offer ads in search and it's like, hey, to use our browser, you pay a monthly subscription fee for it and you get an adless experience?
I
Just the reason I
don't.
ask is I'm thinking like if you're like Sam Altman or somebody else and you're like having success with an LLM and people are starting to like move over to that and start to search with that, ads on Google have just had such like a bad reputation. Um, I wouldn't say with everybody, but there's definitely like a large portion um, where people just like for whatever reason don't like ads in their experience. I don't know. Maybe there's a world where like subscriptions is like the move and it's not an ad supported network.
So I don't think it'll be a. I don't think they can get away with a browser that is paid,
Yeah.
but I think they can use the browser that's free to get people to use ChatGPT, so then people upgrade their ChatGPT service, and that's a subscription that they use.
Yep.
It's got to be like a freemium type thing, and the freemium gets into actual the hey, you need to use more AI searches.
Yeah.
This is where you come in because they're doing a really good job on the subscription side of things. And people, I mean, they have so many alternatives for browser and cruising the internet. It's like, what advantage are you going to give me when I'm cruising the internet? You're going to summarize a website with it. Like, what a browser is a browser. Like what additional features can you tack on top of it that would be beneficial to pay for? I think would be pretty limited um,
But then
experience.
they're also talking about this product too, the Johnny Ives product. So I don't know. Maybe that's what they're pushing towards is hey, everybody uses ChatGPT for search now. Then they're gonna have a browser, then they're gonna have a physical product and kind of tie everything together. Kind of similar to what Google has. Obviously you have Google, you have
Yeah.
Android phone, you have Chrome, kind of ties everything together. I would assume they're probably going to try and do something similar to that, all
Yeah.
while we got Zuckerberg at Meta just like
What the
poaching
fuck is he doing
everybody's
over
talent
there?
here.
Like, but
So
so that's funny. You talk about Zuck and Meta and stuff. It's like they have a good product with Instagram and a good product with Facebook, an amazing product with WhatsApp. I don't think a lot of people understand. I didn't get to wrap my head around WhatsApp and how big it is
dude, it's
across the world.
like
Like,
because it's not like huge in the United States. It's
no,
like global.
it's like what people use to have conversations.
Yeah.
Like that's it. I was talking to Ricardo. Obviously, he's from Brazil. He's got a lot of family still in Brazil. He's like, dude, that's all we use is WhatsApp. Like we have family chat groups, this and that. Like that's it. That's our communication. Like that's our phone app. And that's part. I think people forget that's part of the umbrella of Meta. You know. Uh, but my point is like they have those standalone products. I'm like, but what else are they gonna make that's gonna be like better? Like they're not gonna make a search engine. They try to do wearables. It's like I don't know where he's going with it. I think he's really behind the scene of like here's try our AI tool. Like I'm not sure what is he going to launch. Is it a physical product? Is it a service? Because they already exist and they already kind of have thought leaders in that space. So I don't know.
They did just buy a stake in Ray-Ban. They got 3% equity in Ray-Ban. So I think they're going to continue to invest in the glasses as a product. Because I don't know if I saw this from Meta, if this was their product, or I don't know if it was I don't know. I saw something on Twitter, but essentially it's like you put your glasses on and then you have a keyboard. So you don't have like an actual like physical computer. Like you're looking at like the glasses project your screen and then like you're typing. So like you're like doing the same thing that you would like sitting at your desk, like looking at the computer typing, except there's no actual computer. So I don't know if that's an experience that like Meta is trying to eventually push us towards. Is that type of
So
deal?
maybe Zuck is like 20 years ahead or 10 years ahead of like that
Probably.
actual like interface of AI outside of these screens, like trying to get it into the real world. Maybe that's where he's at because I just
Yeah,
don't see where it's at now. Like what is he going to develop in the next year that's going to help me now?
I know.
You know, and he's spending a fuck ton of money.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he's cash cows. He's using them. Which
yeah.
is whatever, dude. Like fine,
I
but I
I
just
do
don't
want
know
to get
what's
into
he developing.
I do want to get into operator, but
Yeah.
that does remind me. Remember like the metaverse like a couple years ago and how
Mm-hmm.
Zuck got so much flack from investors because he was investing so much in the metaverse. It's like
Yeah.
that literally didn't turn into anything, and like everybody thought like, hey, we were gonna have like emojis in like a metaverse, like attending meetings, and that was gonna be it. Like that was just like I don't know. Looking back on like some of the potential products there is just like so funny to think about, and credit to their team to like pivot towards AI
Yeah,
because
the VR stuff never really took off. Like I had a
didn't do
couple of the
anything.
headsets and they're fun to play around with. There's a cool couple games with them. Even I was super excited about the Apple headset. What's there, but it's all kind of just fell short. And I'm thinking that maybe something with AI coming out and being able to interface with the real world skips the virtual reality
Oh, for
because you can
sure.
actually bring that technology that you would experience in virtual reality to reality in a weird hybrid way with AI. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Where
for
it's like,
sure.
why do we need to plug in? I could just have virtual reality. I guess it's augmented kind of reality, but it's like virtual augmented all together and real life into one.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. I mean, the concept of the idea, and I think this will lead into the operator conversation, is like even the glasses, right? You put your glasses on, like, dude, I've got like I got two monitors, my laptop, fucking speakers, cords, fucking mouse,
a
keyboard,
lot going
plug-in.
on here.
I got a lot of shit in my command center, right? And let's just say they can replace it by just putting these on. You know, these go away. Everything is that, and I could be anywhere. I could be sitting on my couch. I could wherever on the beach. The user interface of it, of actually being able to have the same like tactile experience and stuff like that I think is going to be a crazy challenge if they can overachieve that. Like, how is that even going to be possible? That I think is the hurdle of like, can it actually be done to where it feels the same? Because I bring that up to get to operator. So ChatGPT's operator is part of the $200 subscription package a month. And basically, what it does is that you can give it a prompt to go to a website and do an action, right? I think the demos that they gave is like, hey, have it go to buy some groceries for you and have them delivered, or check out, um, you know, movie tickets or something, or concert tickets, and see what's best available, etc. So it navigates the web for you. So it uses AI, layer over their own browser experience, and it manipulates the web. That's the concept of it. So, as an agency owner and I don't know about enthusiast, but exploring it, I was like, well, dude, what would you want it to do, Trevor? Like, just, I don't know, so something they could do. I don't know, like, maybe it's like, can you go check out my daily ad spend on my clients and send me a Slack message? Right? Is that
For
something
sure.
maybe
Yeah.
you'd want to do? Right.
Yeah.
So I was able to get it as far as to go into my Google Ads account and give me a report on month to date spend for all of my um, accounts listed under Google Ads, and then do a Slack message to me. Kind of cool, right? Like, but the problem is you got to babysit the shit out of it. It's very clunky. It doesn't get all of the like login steps. You have to log in, right? It saves you your session. So if you do it again, sometimes it's a little bit faster, but it is glitchy and it's clunky. Like even trying to get the idea of like downloading the reports and doing it, it's cool. Like you're seeing it work. You're like, oh, it's working. But it's kind of like watching like I don't know, like your grandma asking you asking your grandma to do that or something. You know, someone that's like not super like high tech on it, kind of intuitively kind of working through it to where it's like, Trevor, if I asked you to do that, you could pull that in fucking a minute, not even 30
Yeah.
seconds. Go to all accounts, export, boom, there's my sheet. Here you go. Drop a message. Because I move over to the others. Like even the concept of like moving between tabs, it's really slow. And there's a lot of confirmations that it goes through. So it's like fail safes, like, hey, make sure, like, does this look right? Hit confirm. So you can't just like let it go and let it do
That's
its
what I
thing.
was gonna ask. Say you're like, hey, go and pull spend from my accounts. Like it doesn't. You're not like you're like monitoring it and then like maybe like giving it feedback as it goes. It's not like working in the background and then it just comes
So
back
it
to
it
you.
kind of works in the background. There's a lot of it that it
Yeah.
tries to, but if it gets stuck, it's like, hey, help! I need help, or I need to log in. So you got to go back and you got to okay, here's my login. Cool, it logs in, got it. But a lot of these platforms too, they're blocking AI agents like this from actually using their software. So like Slack, I had to find a workaround to get into it. Um, like the redirect URL, like it wouldn't pass like a Cloudflare, like are you human check. Same thing for
Yep.
Ahrefs, it wouldn't do it. I'm like, dude, I'm here because you can take over the session of the operator, and like you're using the virtual like the session of the browser. You can say, hold on, and you're using it. So you actually go in there, almost like a virtual machine, and you can go in there and you start typing in. That's how you do your login and stuff. But even then, it does not. It gets stuck by robot filters. So certain things. So I couldn't use like a tool like Ahrefs to do like a report on things because it's like, sorry, we know you're a robot, even though it's like a human and robot together. It's like, no, that's not works. But it was weird. Let me in the Google Ads. Gmail, I actually said, okay, well, instead of sending a Slack message, can you just send an email to me? And so you can give it to your Gmail logins. It doesn't block it for whatever reason. That's fine. But it does say if you're on the Gmail screen, because they've deemed it sensitive, that you have to be actively on that screen session. Otherwise, it'll stop working because it doesn't want to be like, oh, it's too sensitive information. So, like, I guess ChatGPT realizes like there's some screens like maybe we shouldn't be fucking around in. Um,
Yeah.
because we could do some stupid damage, you know. But you're gonna have to trust it eventually. It's weird because it's got some logins of mine. I can clear all my cache cookies out of it and stuff, which I do occasionally through it all. But it was just like not quite there. Like my ability to operate three different monitors, three different screens, exports, this, that was 10 times faster than the AI system. Even if the AI system took longer, it still wasn't perfect. It still wasn't great. It was just like meh. It's almost like a brand new intern that you're like, dude, I gotta train everything on this.
Yep.
And it's not like relearnable the experience. You can't really train it too much. I mean, you can build kind of like an experience, but it's not like super trainable in a way that it's like, oh, it's getting refined over time. It's just not there. And the other crappy part is, sorry, I had to sneeze there. Got it out just in time. Hit the mute button. Is that let's say I wanted a reoccurring task. I spent literally 3 hours yesterday, from like I don't know 4:30 my time to like 7:30. Like my family was out doing things, so I was like, dude, I just got down this dark rabbit hole of like using operator. I'm like,
Nice.
it wouldn't let you do like a reoccurring event. Let's say I want that ad spin report every day. Like just send me a message. I can take a quick look at it. It does not allow reoccurring tasks in there. So
Yeah,
it's like
because there's so
it's
many things you do in business, like weekly or daily. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, why am I not just building an API pool tool that does it and it runs it, etc. dude, I went down the rabbit hole of like, well, can I just use it from like actually using like I don't know, I had ChatGPT help me do it of like, okay, well, I know that you could do like a macro, like I used to use macros back in the day and like manipulate my fucking computer and do it, stuff like that. It was tripping up on that. I tried to do it like programmatically through, or not program, like actually programming something through terminal to push things through, like, I don't know, way coding stuff is above my head. And it was like, it could not get it right as far as like getting like a reoccurring timer set up. Probably most likely like my lack. I'm sure there's an easy solution to do it that you can manipulate it, but it's like, why am I manipulating something to get something to do something reoccurring where I can just do it? And I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh. So it really fell short, but it was eye opening. It needed to happen where I don't think I'm going to be building any tools or processes with it. But it did really show me that AI cannot be good by itself. Like it's a long ways away to just like let it go and pretend to be a human.
Yeah.
It feels weird. Like you just see it. It's missing, and it's hard to tangibly articulate what that is. But it's like a certain nuance, and that's where I'm like, okay, my other work that I'm doing, it's like I can make AI better with the work, and then AI can make my work better. It's not either or type of situation.
Very
Uh,
collaborative.
yeah, very collaborative, man. Like even like the
Yeah.
brief that I sent you for a prospect that we're looking at. I had some very in-depth conversations with ChatGPT to kind of formulate through some of my ideas, and then I'm like, cool, got me a report, got a brief over to you that is like, okay, cool. Then like we collaborated as humans, like, well, hey, do you think this checks out? Do you validate that experience of what? Because it originated with my ideas. ChatGPT basically just fucking formalized my ideas in a way better articulate way, which that would have been back in the day working at agencies where sales guys asking me like, hey, I need a fucking paid media proposal idea to go. That would take me a half a day to do.
I
And,
know.
I'd probably pull things from other things that I did
Yeah.
to kind of bring it together, etc. But if I can articulate what I'm thinking of, and then ChatGPT knows how to formulate that into something that is digestible and shareable, that's really, I think, the key. It couldn't by itself generate the great idea. The ideas came from me, and you as well adding into it. But I can share that took me 30-40 minutes, but it's very solid strategy. But it's not like Chat GPT. I just let it do it. I had to give it some really good ideas going into it, and then it makes it better. So it's like that symbiotic relationship where it can make my ideas articulate better and share faster, so I can move quicker and do more things. And I'm not fully reliant of like just letting Chat GPT run everything, because it gets it wrong a lot of the times, or it's just not creative enough.
I I couldn't agree more. And that's where I've really I think I've heard like, like top engineers or top coders, how like it increases productivity by X percentage or whatever, but it's not like doing everything for you. And like other examples is like not fully at that point just yet. Um, but if you have a good base of experience, then that could really like supercharge your work and make it much, much better. But if you don't have much experience, don't know necessarily what you're talking about, don't know the context to provide the tool, you're not going to get great results from it. So it's almost funny, Steve. Like I remember like prompt engineering like 2, 3 years ago was like a thing, and like, oh, there's going to be prompt engineers, and thinking like that's such nonsense. But actually, the more and more that I use LLMs and then collaborate with other people who are doing it, you would think that like your ability to give an LLM context of like what you're looking for would be easy, but it's like I don't you there's so many like levels to it.
Yeah, dude, I had to try to make a media plan out of it, like in a spreadsheet format. Like, hey, I want to take this plan and put it into a spreadsheet. A lot of times we just kind of move that media plan into a spreadsheet with different columns and service lines, this and that.
Yeah.
And like it struggled of like putting it all together with like versus agency fees versus budget spends versus columns.
Yeah.
And I keep trying to revise it. I probably did like 5 or 7 different Excel spreadsheet exports based on my feedback, and it still couldn't get it right. Like one's halfway there, almost there. It's like, not there yet. It's like,
No.
and I don't know if it'll ever be. Probably will though.
I think it will. I
Yeah.
think I was literally gonna say I think it will because like your example, it reminded me of it's like that famous picture now that AI created of like Will Smith like eating spaghetti and how terrible it was. And then it went through like the variations and then it became like incredible. And like the initial clips of like some videos that are produced and then some of like the more recent
That's what it
examples from
feels like that I'm
Sora.
feeling now.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, wow,
Yeah.
it kind of stunk, and now it's like, wow, it's producing like 2 minutes of like really legit,
Yeah.
television or whatever. And like like you saw the progression of like the images and like the videos and like where it is now. I would assume operator is going to be pretty similar, where it's just going to train, it's going to learn, it's going to figure some stuff out. But it also highlights something that's kind of like interesting. Like you could be doing a couple tasks that like you might think are simple, but then an AI agent would like really struggle to do. It's like, I don't know, you kind of like take for granted your ability to like, I don't know, be
Yes.
resourceful and figure some stuff
No,
out and
we're
think for
fast.
yourself.
We're
And it's like
actually
much more
really
complicated than you actually might think.
no. And you only get to experience that when you see what an AI unit does, and you're like, "Whoa, okay." So my ability to move like my 5 digits, my hands, my eyeballs, 3 different screens, coordinating—that is very complex.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
extremely complex and articulate to do it. And I think because the browser is the front so I guess it's a good way of looking at like where AI and how we kind of are the canary in the coal mine kind of thing. Whereas like a browser is the first step. Like an AI agent should be able to use a browser and what I'm asking him to do seamlessly. Like I'm talking fast,
sure.
extremely quick, no issues. It's just interface analysis and clicks, etc. Right? That's the first line, and it's not there yet. Next step, how cool, let's say they nail operator, and now there's operator desktop, right? And Trevor, all you have to do is for one day or a week, just let me record what you do. Let the AI agent learn, and a week later, it can automate everything you do on your computer, right? If you think about it, that's all we're doing in a couple different apps. I got my Chrome up, I got my Slack up, I got my Figma up, I got my Spotify up. Maybe he wants to listen to some tunes. I've got all my different browsers, which mostly we're browser based, right? As a job. And then they can interact between all the different screens. Like that would be the next layer. Then I think it gets into the outside world with robots. Maybe it'll
Yeah.
be tangent. And it's like, hey, can you fold laundry? Can you do this? Like it's gonna be there. I think that's kind of be the evolution. So I think if anything, the last couple of days, seeing what it is, maybe the people are going to release stuff and it's going to work better, but it's like I still got hope that it's actually not as fast as it's going.
Yep.
Like it's actually it's not. Like we're struggling to get there, I think.
I think that's a really good point. And I've also thought of that as well is I would assume there's going to be business that's built where it's like, hey, we'll take over your computer for a week and monitor what you do, and then we're just going to like duplicate you. And then we're going to like, you know, and I think that has really interesting implications for jobs, in the future. Instead of like you like being employed by a company and doing work, like maybe you train like an agent to figure out what you need to do at that company. And then
Yeah.
instead of you spending 40 hours a week at that company, you spend a couple hours a week and you're overseeing an agent, and then you could help multiple lines. That would be interesting. But I've thought of that as well, as like there's got to be some like listening type device or some type of agent or operator or whatever that looks over everything that you do. Because you got to think, if you were to monitor your activity for like 3 to 4 weeks, it's pretty much like what you're getting. You know what I mean? Like one week you're doing monthly reports or weekly reports. You're doing budget pacing pretty consistently throughout the week to week basis. You're doing Slack and email. You're doing some like business. It's not like that much of like there is variation for sure, but it's like not that much variation. We're like 3 to 4 weeks. We'll watch what you do and then we can kind of like replicate.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody's working on something like that.
So it's interesting because like AI is super good. Like they talk about, oh, we have what is it, sentient AI or knows everything. It's the smartest thing. It's smarter than me. Yes, it is smarter from a data information based of what it has, but it is not as smart as manipulating the environment that it's
Yep.
in.
Yep.
It's like it's the greatest answer, tutorer, code helper, but to actually manipulate your environment, start with browsers, then your actual work desktop and the outside, we haven't seen any of that yet. Any
No.
of that. Maybe
No.
full self driving, but that looks like a video game to them, where it's like visually optics and stuff. Like they don't know they're actually in the real, So it's like I don't know if this is a simulation. Like we are really doing a good job as far as the AI in our own head simulating the like we mastered that. That's what they want
Oh,
to be able
definitely.
to do.
Yeah.
Until then, it's like all right, I still got some hope on it. And my last point about AI is that I am really, really not cool with. I think people need to be super aware of this, and I think you've seen it. I think it's I feel like in the last couple of months, be it between my Chat GPT on here as far as like voice mode, which sounds super weird now. Any of the queries that I do on Chat GPT, even the new Alexa AI mode, I've got the newer one, but mostly Chat GPT text experiences when I'm in the interface. Um, is that it wants to appease you. And if you do any of the leading of the witness into your query, it's going to find a way to make sure that your bias was correct or your solution was correct. When has AI ever pushed back on you?
Yeah, I really like that you brought up this point because I've thought about this a lot as of late here for sure.
It's like you don't know. I don't think people realize that it's really trying to be agreeable with you. So, like, the conclusions that it gets to can be completely wrong, especially if you're like going down like the coding path. I'm like, bro, I gave you a screenshot of the interface and you're giving me something else. I'm like, this is not correct. And then it keeps going through like trying to be agreeable or this, and it's like it starts to hallucinate. And if you don't realize it, you go down like this weird rabbit hole. So
I think that's a really good point to underscore there is seems pretty basic, but like not always trust the outputs there because it's so true. You got to think like, especially too if you're using like ChatGPT or like whatever for like a while, and then it has a bit of memory, so it kind of knows. Dude, you got to like it. I guarantee if you ask ChatGPT like, who do you think I voted for in the last election, it would probably be 100% right. Like you probably opened up to it way more than like you actually realized, and just like the way in which you describe things and words that you use, it probably knows way more about you than you would realize. Where the responses to your point that it's appeasing you, it's just like feeding your bias, and that would probably
yeah,
be pretty difficult to pick up on. It's like so true.
yeah. It's just like look at every query at the end. It's like they always want to keep having a session too. It's always like,
Yeah,
dude, you like me to do this? It's never like, oh, okay, I'm done.
yeah.
You
Like,
know,
oh, I
it
could pull X, Y, and Z, or like this could be another. Yeah, that's so true.
yeah, it's really weird. That
So
comes
let me
across.
ask you this: are you going to do anything with Operator in your guys' business now, or just testing, seeing what else use cases might pop up?
I think right now, probably a no. I've tested
Yeah.
it enough and spent time on it that like the use cases are so limited. Like even the complexity of like scheduling an email campaign in Klaviyo or something like that, which is not difficult to do. It really isn't. But there's a multitude steps in 3 different platforms, and to explain that all, it can't do it right now. It couldn't. Could it do
Yeah.
it like an analysis? Maybe, you know? But it's like, I'm going to look at the analysis or I'm going to collect the analysis real quick and then give it the data. Like for it to be proactively pulling stuff, it's too difficult. Like I'd rather give it the information, give me an analysis and come back. But to proactively do something, I just don't think it's there yet. Like I wanted to pull like all the like the base camp like late to dos and just like monitor that. And it'd be great if they could go in and kind of nudge the person that is assigned to it. Like, hey, what's this about? It can't do that. Like it's too complex. And if it's a repeating task, it can't do it again in a scheduled manner. So it's like each time it's like I could probably figure out a way for it to go in and really train it. But then it's like that was just like a one-time show. It's really
Yeah.
something you can't do reoccurring. To where it's like honestly having a human that can go through and do those things would be a lot easier.
Yep. So
So
that's
it's just it's not there yet. It's just not there yet.
where it's like I kind of what we were just saying about like the images and video tool. Like you could see where it's going to go. Like you could see the future of like how this could eventually be, you know, a member of your team just operating almost autonomously and just like doing things for you. It's just not there yet. And I don't know, maybe for like the foreseeable future, it's just a great like assistant and like, helper for like your personal assistant for you and your team there.
That's what it feels like they're trying to sell it as, but as business is not there yet. Like, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
some of the examples they give in operator, like from the default screen.
Dude, the
Um,
videos that they showed when they announced the product were like incredible.
yeah,
But you got to think like,
It's like suggest 30-minute meals with chicken that has 4.5 stars, or like purchase the most affordable passes to the Miami Grand Prix. Like,
dude,
dude,
would you
I'll share my
ever
screen real
let
quick.
AI just like buy some stuff on your behalf without you approving it? Like, no
Well,
shot.
they will give you prompt screens on it. Let me just do a screen share here. All right, let me do. Oh, I could probably. Can I just share a window? Right, share screen presentation screen
I did screen.
window.
Yeah.
Oh, can I do a tab? That's probably even better. Operator. All right. So these are like the default things. Like they kind of, it's mostly like fun, like buy tickets or do this delivery. You can do like a delivery of something, local services, find this. And so it's like a lot of these prompts you can kind of give it to ChatGPT already, but I get it that, okay, let's go find the most, like, I don't know, which one do you want me to click on? They have
Uh,
HubSpot, they have websites that I feel like they're good at already. That's why I can interface more. Like they've trained it a bit on it. But if you do like another website, it's a little bit tough, I feel like. Actually, all right,
but
I
do the
got
local
one.
services. There's no
I, I,
way.
I got one. Let's see. Can you um, find me Spartan races, specifically the trail race series events in America, and I don't know, reserve 2 seats for me and Trevor. I have no idea what this is going to do. Okay,
I'm
so
very intrigued right now.
it goes into this browser, so you can open this up. I'll make it a little larger. And so you can actually click here and you can see what it's doing here on the left hand side. So it's starting off with a search in Bing. Good to know. Find a race. So you see I can hover over. It says take control. So I can take control at any time. It's kind of like don't let it do it. So it's doing a find a race. And I feel like this is something like deep research or like 4.5 is going to do this on its own and come back to you. But anyways, here we go. It's scrolling.
This is funny because like you could just do this by yourself like so much faster.
Yeah, even the load on it is it's just clunky. It's through a virtual machine. You feel like you're like booting into someone else's computer, which is essentially what you're doing.
This is like
Green.
watching the future. This is like the early days, and then like 5, 10 years from now, this is going to be like,
Yeah.
wow, that was like little
So
child
I
play.
did take a look at. I had to go to Collective 42's website because I wanted to see what it looked like from a bot perspective coming into the website. So my analytics actually recorded it as a human out of Long Beach with a certain browser site off of a Mac. So it looked like a complete human from at least the analytics section. And it recorded both of them. So it's going to be really hard to pick it apart that this is an AI agent on behalf of myself coming into
Oh
your
wow.
website. So like even these guys right now, um, yeah, I don't know what it's doing now. It's weird. It opens up, like it goes back. It's got a tab problem. So like, what is it doing now? Like you were on the page. What's going on?
Uh,
It's like, oh, I'm going back to find. This is what I'm saying. It's like clunky.
and then it goes back to this, yeah.
So like
And
where
plus, who would want to sit here and just like watch this the whole time and then approve it?
So right now I can move this away from my screen and work, and it would keep running. I'd have to go back and see if it said it. Hopefully it'll get to a prompt because it'll prompt you something here like, hey, you need to do this, especially for like logins and things like that. But right now it's like, what are we doing here? Like, okay, can we just select a race? We just keep loading the page. But I mean, this looks like a real user's Spartan race. So if these become more popular, dude, there's got to be something that tags it as like, hey, this is an AI agent coming in,
Gotta
so you
be.
know what's going on. Because like maybe there's something on the format of this page that's not super AI friendly, and it's like struggling to figure out how to learn more and how the interface works. I mean, it doesn't look like there would be, but
Steve, that might be a whole new, service to offer is instead of like CRO, like conversion rate optimization, it's like AI bot optimization for AI's UX or UI.
Yeah.
Like
No, for sure. So it's
construct your
funny.
site to be crawlable by a bot.
Yeah, no, for sure. That could be something. So when I sent it to the Collective 42 uh, website, I had it fill out a form. So it found the form, filled out. It was like a multi-step form that we have. And it asked me, it stopped. It's like, hey, well, what information? I'm like, just make it up. Just make sure the name is like Steve Operator so I can see it. Sure as shit, filled everything out, submitted the form. I had to say yes to submit. So like any like major milestones, you have to interact with it. So it's like, what's the point if I have to enter? I mean, I get it. You're trying to learn it, but it's also like building a level of trust behind it. I don't know. Like, but I don't know what this thing is doing. Like, it hasn't booked the race yet. And it keeps, I don't know if it's going to categorize everything, pull up a Google Sheet, or like
Wait, is
sign
it
up.
Command F sign up
Yeah.
right
So
now?
they'll do commands. So they know how to interact. So yeah, they'll do a Command F. I seen it in Excel or Google Sheets, like do a copy and paste. But because their version, not all defaulted uh, Google Sheets have the ability to do the copy and paste. You have to like add a plugin or something or allow it. So it's like there's a pop up that happens. So you know it's like trying to copy and paste, like actually using the commands from a keyboard stroke almost.
This is
Or,
wild.
dude, maybe this is like someone in another country that's just like, okay, I'm gonna go real slow and get paid to do this.
I saw there was a
So
company
here we
that
go. I don't know.
raised
It's
a
going to
ton.
tickets. Let's see what happens. I don't know what right clicked. Why the hell did it right click? Yeah. So I mean, it keeps going. I mean, I'm
All
hoping we
right, well
get through.
this is cool to like see this operate here.
So you can tell where it's like clunky.
Yeah. And then what do? You just hit stop and then it just stop. Like you have to go back to like
So
the chat
I
experience
can,
and stop it.
so I can go here and take control, or I can pause here,
Oh, okay.
and then it will stop for it all. So it's got the Poconos, Lake Placid, but it's like, what's going to happen? Like when I go to tickets, so it's clicking tickets about the event, and then it's like, I don't know, it just gets tripped out. So I'm not sure if they're just having a hard time with this website in
That
general.
was cool. That was cool to at least see it in action there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if some of the other prompts, like, I don't know, like this one, because it's no StubHub, if it'll go faster.
Yeah, like maybe some of those preset ones they're pretty dialed.
Because they understand the structure of the site or something. Oh, yeah, I've never seen
Yeah.
this one. Would you like 2 tickets or come in the sphere? Do you have any seating preference? Like, they never asked me before. So it's kind of like pre prompted, I think.
Yeah, so the pre-prompt ones are probably really good.
Yeah, let's take a look real quick if you got a sec. I just want to see the difference here.
Yeah.
All right, so let me launch this out, open this up. Yeah. It's interesting, though, like seeing the strokes that it goes through. Like, you can see everything. It's like, oh, okay. Waiting for page to load. I don't know if you can go, where's that button? View? Oh, I don't know. Jump to live. But even like the internet connection that they're using, I know these sites aren't loading that slow. It might be like our delay of seeing it because you're kind of looking into it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is where you think about, dude, how much energy this is taking to get done.
Insane.
Like, that's where I know the All In podcast is all about, like, energy production is like the new
The
predictor
new
of,
currency.
is the new, like, yeah, predictor of like world domination of power. And it's like, you kind of get it when it's like something like this, that it's on a virtual machine, it's doing something, it's loading an image from this website. Like, yeah, it's crazy, but I don't even know. I mean, this is not even doing that. I mean, look how long it's taking to search for this.
Yeah, this is just showing.
Concept, great idea. Great idea. Actual practical implementations, I can't implement this in my business.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, dude, yeah, at this point you're just like wasting time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it hasn't even, I mean, what is it going to type in? They went to a different website now? Like, oh, here we go. Anyways, I'm just going to stop because it's not doing anything. All right, pause. Thank you. Please
Well, I
stop.
think this is probably a good place to call it there because I feel like that was an awesome like experience to go through that and actually share this live.
Yeah, so like good news, AI is not necessarily replacing your day-to-day functionalities. It will help like integrate in your work, but you're going to be the one manipulating it. Like it by a standalone, it's not there yet.
No
So
doubt.
we're okay for right now.
We're okay for right now.
I feel like that window is a little bit longer after experiencing something like this. I was like, huh,
Same. I was literally just
right.
thinking the same thing there.
All
And then
right.
it's also like there's so many people that like talk just oh I just have AI agents that like run my whole $10 million monthly recurring revenue business and it's just
I
me.
guarantee they
And
have
agents
a
do
buy.
everything.
I
No, you
guarantee you
don't.
they're offering to buy you some sort of ebook.
Exactly. There's probably some course, some
I
mastermind
mean,
that's
dude,
included in
correct me
there.
if I'm wrong, dude. If someone's figured this out, I mean, I do not pretend to know everything. Like, dude, comment, call me. You know where to find me. Like, I
Yeah.
want to know. But it's like
Yeah.
a lot of it's hype. Like,
It's a lot of nonsense hype.
just a lot of hype. So,
But the personal assistant type stuff is super helpful to keep things moving and saves you so much time writing and like some other tasks. But like the multi-step stuff, we ain't there yet.
not there yet. So,
Cool. This was a sick
all right.
one. Love this
Thanks,
one.
everyone.
Let us know what you think. It's another episode in the books, and then yeah, I think we'd probably be pretty consistent with apps moving forward here.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
pretty sure. I might have some summer
yeah,
stuff that pops up, but we'll figure it out.
yeah, cool.
All right.
All right,
Thanks,
y'all.
everyone.
Appreciate it.